that one
God.
weirdo in the alleyway in Waypoint. He's that one weirdo.
That guy's like always standing behind a tree looking at me. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. He's a
You need
fucking weird
that
one.
one picture of the guy behind the tree rubbing his hands like this.
Hey John, I
Your
have
tail's getting
plans
bigger.
for you.
Yeah, I bet
Did
you
see
do,
that
you
video
sneaky
that
little
I
shit.
found that tree?
We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna obliterate the
Yeah,
face.
it's incredible.
We'll see,
Nah,
because
his
right
other
now,
monitor is
John
just
is going to
the
be like
idea.
pulled in
Really,
two different directions from
jump
that.
on
So
that. He obviously has a pretty good talent for that.
Literally,
Jump
he's gonna
on
have his
it.
arms ripped
Jump
off.
on it.
Jump on.
Well, John.
Well, is it
I'm not
time?
gonna say who yet, but
It must be
you see,
time.
I've already gained an associate, let's say.
Eh.
Light armor. Whoa!
We're gonna become a cult, slowly building in the
Did someone change the settings on the light armor? I'm so fast.
No. This map not change this map at all.
No, light armor's
This
working.
map
You
is
might have
not-
accidentally pressed GM speed.
You
might have-
this new map.
You
yeah,
might have accidentally pressed GM speed, yeah.
yeah, because I'm on light armor and I'm
Light armor. You hit GM speed.
Wait for
Up. It's
Okay,
this
thank
one.
you, thank you.
There you go. You see, you're fine.
I thought it was
Breathe,
highlighted on
take
the
a breath.
light. I was moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour.
that would have been funny. Just nerd at just going zoom zoom.
Hey, Grandpa, I just invented a new kind of mushroom. It's a cocaine mushroom. Okay, I got too many things to do. I gotta go clean my entire tin and everybody else's pie.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Blaine, that's a very big fluffy tail you got there. Very, very, very big. It's huge. Enormous even.
We got a.
I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream.
Look at the big old bunny. Look at the big old bunny tail. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna scream.
It's going to be fun, John.
Anyway.
Feeling nerd in on things.
Oh yeah, I finally get someone else to fill me in on something.
Yep.
Platonically.
God damn it.
Platonically.
Platonically.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, like an eclair.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a total
Yeah.
innocent cinnamon bun. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh,
You're
shit.
an old dirty man. You've lived like hundreds of years. You've definitely done some weird kinky shit, and I know it.
Look, when I'm married with my wife, and we've been married for like 300, 400 years, you got to spice things up a little bit.
Look, I'm just saying, you don't fight 400 mages over a lifetime and don't accidentally end up with a cloaca at some point. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god!
I don't want to even think about the image you just fucking put into my brain.
Alright, I'm starting
The fuck?
session. Oh my god.
I need an apology from that one. No, get back here.
Hey, I wasn't the one that said it. I wasn't the one that said it. God damn it. Make her
I need
apologize.
something.
Make her apologize.
people in there. No, get in.
Fuck. Hold on.
I want to interact.
Oh my god.
I mean,
You don't know how you got here exactly, right?
Do, do, do.
Some of the paths reset, so I had to find new ones, but
Do, 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 do.
Ooh.
Thought I heard a little. I will talk to a little bit. Now I want see who else is on. Actually, that's my point. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Iswick.
How are you doing, friend?
Doing well.
Doing well? Both of you are friends, but in either case, yes, I did get your letter. I didn't want to interrupt, though. I didn't know if anything was going on.
Not really.
Oh, okay. You said the matter was urgent. Is this something that should be handled privately, or it depends?
Yes. I'm going to get Nerta as well for various different reasons.
Very well. There's a little area right by the library I don't really see many people using. Never really seems to go over to that area. Perhaps we should have our conversation there?
Yes.
I think it's a smart idea. Very well. Pleasure to meet you. See you as well, Ted. How have you been?
I'm doing just fine, Mr. Wizard.
Mr. Wizard, I like that. Good to hear, good to hear. Now, tell me, my friend, you're still not suffering from the prior delusions, are you?
Depends on what you mean by delusions. That's why I came to see Mr. Bookman.
Oh. Well, in that case, I will leave you both to it, and I will meet you over at that location with Nerta as well. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan, yes.
Excellent. All right. I'll see you there, friend.
Ah, Fezwick, there you are.
Yes, hello. How are you doing,
How you
Michael?
doing
What can I
on
do
the
for you?
third day? I'm doing good.
That
Yes, I'm doing quite well, although...
That's a little bit of a complicated question.
There's something important that's come up.
If it was able to talk to me and hold a conversation, probably not going to. If it essentially just acted like a very primal animal, would feel a little less guilty about it.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I just thought,
People
probably
eat animals all the time.
Yeah, but, not when they're vegetables. It's a little different.
I mean, it's sort of semantics, isn't it? The plant was already alive when you ate it. So what's the difference of making it visibly alive?
If it didn't have
It's
a
just
face
unsettling.
or a mouth or anything and it just ran around, oh, well, for sure. Because then I'd be like, oh, well, Faye just gave this thing legs and made it run around, so I'm just gonna get back in there.
Yeah, I'm just worried about it, though, so just keep me informed if you got any connection on that.
Keep an eye out.
Have any more
Thank you.
started doing it? Or...
Today, I don't know. I haven't gone and done my rounds at the farm yet, but yesterday we had onions do it and corn do it. A tomato did it. So it's like just a little bit of everything.
Okay.
What if perhaps alternatively you get rid of the Fae that did it?
I think that might actually be something people are already in the plans of doing.
Perfect.
Oh no, it was Miss Ivy. The one that stole them. I think we're working on that. But Miss Ivy, I don't think she meant to do that. But maybe I can get her to fix it, because it is her chaos.
Have you seen her around at all to talk to her?
Well, I mean, you could
yet, or...
you could sort of do the opposite and just get like an order wizard and have them do something. Put them back in the natural order.
True. Combat with the antithesis.
Yeah.
What if I like put iron in the fertilizer?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not the farmer. So I don't really know how that
Sometimes. But even I'm not that daring.
Yes. I mean, you're not daring.
Narta. There is a
I'm still mad at
strange
you.
mushroom. Oh. There's a
Go on.
strange mushroom over there.
That's like black and it looks goopy. You go touch it
Well,
to see what
probably-
happens.
I probably will not do that, but we'll see. Where
Why
is it?
not? You like mushrooms, aren't you? And it grows all over you
Yeah.
half of the time.
It's over where
Yeah, but
Maury
that doesn't mean
is.
all of them. But where's Maury?
That's kind of generalizing, honestly.
Over there. Just
Yeah.
over the
Okay.
bridge.
And
What do you mean?
All right.
What?
Don't touch
It's not very
everything
often I
like.
get
She has always mushrooms
mushroom-related things.
Growing over him.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean all of them are good for touching. There's like specifically ones you do not want to be touching.
There's ones that
Because
are
they're poisonous.
So can you
poisonous.
actually touch? Can you actually touch them without getting poisoned?
What? No.
Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see and figure it out. All right, take me
crazy.
there. It's not
You
very
need, like,
often
some
we have
sort
very
of-
mushroom-specific related thing.
Frog person or something.
What?
What? Frog people can't be
All
poisoned.
right, fine. I guess I'll go.
Well-known fact.
Frog people can't be poisoned?
Is this the thing?
That is the thing. The scarily realistic mushroom.
Mm.
Ah, there you are, John.
Nerta is being held up. It'll probably be a bit. I'll probably have to tell her this later.
Okay.
How
very well.
familiar are
Then-
you with the town books?
The town books. I don't think I'm familiar at all, actually. This is my first hearing about anything like that.
There's town books, volumes 1 through 7, I believe. Or 1 through 9. I can't recall. They are basically
Okay.
books on the town's history. Each one seems to be focused on a generation of this town.
All right.
We need to find out more information on either the second or third volume, the second or third generation.
Okay. Well, is it something we can check out in the library, or what? Where exactly are these books held?
We need to be very discreet about this. The reason why we need to look and what we're looking for specifically
Okay.
is dragons.
Right.
Obrion, when he heard about the chill winds that were increasingly and getting stronger on the top of the tree, he got very concerned. He wouldn't divulge him, so I gambled for it.
Oh. Well, something's got Oberon shaking. That does sound concerning. All right. So, I assume you have a lead on this book?
They're in the library. We're going to have to look through the second or third. I'm going to try to speak to Lawrence. He's been in the town for a long time. I'm going to try to be discreet with my questions. My concern is that when I asked him about this, we've had that one dragon that passed by a few times. He says dragons more than one. And
It does sound alarming.
Well, he does not know what these dragons will do to us, but anyone here that's a Fae or anywhere that's associated with Fae, the dragons will attack the Fae and go to war with them.
Interesting.
They will be extremely
So you think
hostile.
then... I see. So you believe then, simply because we are stuck in a Fey town, we'll end up being kind of in the crossfire, so to speak.
There's that. But also a lot of the magic here is Fey-based. It's the seasons, the seasonal chords, all of that. From what he says, that the dragon's magic and the Fey magic are like oil and water. So that might have other consequences for how the Fae control the weather, how the protections work in town. It could affect a lot more serious things, I imagine.
I see. Well, yes, that is absolutely concerning, and that is something that does need to be brought to our attention. My question then is, what might I do to help?
Try to get what information you can discreetly. Try to get anything that might be able to deal with the dragons. Poisons or anything that I would rather try to do this peacefully, but if the dragons are going to be hostile, we need to be prepared for that.
Yes, I think erring on the side of diplomacy is wise as well, especially since, well, not to sound rude, but it seems as though many of our problems here do seem to stem from the Fae. Perhaps we can speak with them and maybe get, it sounds like we might be able to be on the same page if we want to get home. Want to get out of here, at least.
We should be careful. We don't want... The reason why I'm only telling you select people is I don't want a panic.
That's understandable. All right.
If it has Obrion spooked,
I'll keep the
then
information
it's going
to
to
myself.
certainly have others spooked as well.
Right. Very well. I'll keep this information close to my chest. And, yes, I'll see what I can find out. In truth, I don't know too much about dragons. Where I'm from, they are myth. They simply do not exist, but...
Who do you know
obviously,
knows a good amount about dragons?
My mind goes to Nerta, my mind goes to Pip. They serve dragons, so they might know some information. Other than them, not too much. Well, perhaps Jasper. Jasper's new to town. Although I mean, that's just an assumption. I don't really know them very well. I've only ever heard Pip and Nerta speak of dragons, personally.
I am already going to speak to Nerta, because I believe she's been going through the books. I am going to... I would suggest maybe try talking to Pip as well.
That seems wise. I'll also see if I can speak with get a bit more friendly with that new Jasper fellow. I'm unsure of their story, but from what I've come to understand, most kobolds seem to serve dragons, but again, that's in my limited understanding. And plus, people come from all sorts of places, who knows, right?
He mentioned about being a slave. I don't know if it was to dragons or not. It might be good information, and if he was a slave to dragons, I would imagine that he has a good understanding of dragons and no love for them either.
Correct. Very well. I'll do what I can. Also, I will say, while I have you here, Tobias did bring something up to me. I still have the helmet. I was going to get that smelted today so we can deal with that void fellow, but I was told the situation got more complicated. Can you fill me in on that, or...?
Sorry, it cut out for a moment. What, situation?
Oh, the void situation.
The void situation.
I heard it got more complicated, yes.
Apparently they let the whole contract thing go. And apparently they are not supposedly as evil as they have been portrayed as.
All right. I'm gonna have to hard disagree. Killed my best assistant, threatened to kill me, made me make a deal with them in order to tell me they killed my assistant.
I am not saying that they are not evil. I'm saying that they claim that they are not as evil as they are portrayed to be.
Well, of course they're going to claim that. They're going to justify whatever they want, especially because they're like some kind of fae that goes out and targets people and kills them out in the forest.
Exactly. So, I don't know the full situation of that. I just know of the quick claims that this void thing made. I'm not sure who would know more about this situation.
I can tell you firsthand, because I was there. They took the form of Isabel. At some point, they killed Isabel and impersonated them in town. When we were going to fight that initial fight with Chaos and Duckman and all that nonsense. At some point, we were climbing a mountain. They decided to turn and attempt to murder as many people as they could. Thankfully, they only injured one. They did not end up killing anybody else, but they then revealed themselves to me. And from then, I ended up gathering more information. They left a ring for me, similar to one that Isabel had found and could not get rid of. Very similar to the situation we found, what's her name, Lou in. You can see where my alarm bell started to ring. Seeing as though I've already lost a very valued assistant, and, well, they seem to have no remorse for what they've done. They essentially forced me to make a contract with them that needed to, they forced me to track down a fae so that they can talk with me and tell me they killed my, someone who worked with us. I don't think this person, even if they claim they might have reasons, I don't think this person's going to be someone you're going to want to keep around town. What happens when someone else goes out and they get a ring? Or if they don't even decide to mark somebody, what if they just kill somebody out there?
I agree with you, but again, that's what they claimed, and a lot of people are buying it for the most part. It might be good to speak a few more people that talk to him and are buying into the "he's not so evil, guys" line.
Very well. I appreciate you being level-headed about all this, but it just bothers me.
At the
I think
very
he's going
least,
after people that...
There's nothing we can do
Go ahead,
in
yes.
town. We'll just have to get him when he's in the forest. But we're going to need to have the people on the side, because if we take him out in the forest and the people don't approve of that, that's going to cause issues on down the line. So that's where you might have to come into play. You'll need to talk to people and let them know about what exactly he has actually done and remind them that he's not so innocent as he plays himself off to be.
That's understandable. Now I need to ask though, what made the change of heart? Simply him just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not that bad." Is that what happened? Because I don't know what happened.
That seems to be the prevailing answer for most people. Most people are buying in, but also keep in mind that it's kind of worked for other people too, so myself included.
Yes, true. And I imagine it's not going to go very well for me saying that when I defended... Well, I never defended Lazarus, but I did make it clear that he was a friend of mine, so perhaps it won't go over so well, but I've got to try. I can't allow this man to keep doing what he's doing. I suspect he's picking off people who are kind of quiet in town, people that don't think will be missed, and I think that's why this sort of thing is, I think it's why his little line is working. Honestly. But that's a theory. I honestly don't know. Let me get up. Well, for you, friend, I will try and find more information on these dragons. And I suppose I'll try to convince people not to allow this man to continue to get away with what he's doing as well. Thank you for filling me in. You've been very helpful. And I would like to ask you one last thing. Should I make this poison? Should we end up having that work? Are you still in to use it on Void?
What I say is, even the dragon things, I trust your judgment as far as who you share that with. But as far as what I am about to say, this stays between only the two of us.
You have my word.
Oberon shared that iron. Hello, how are you doing?
Do not see me.
Hello.
You don't see me. I went visible so they could see me. Because I was dragging them invisible.
Yeah, but we still see the slime.
Oh.
For no apparent reason.
We see, there's a lot of people here, yes.
It's like,
Hello.
My friend the slime
I'm sorry,
flew
our
off.
slime magically floated.
Well, here they are. Safe and sound, I believe.
You go.
Sorry for interrupting something.
Oh, no
my
worries,
God, that
no
was the
worries.
best
It's
timing.
fine. This is a public area after all. How have you been? Doing well? That's good to hear. Also, Jasper, I see you have a book. Excellent. You been learning to read?
John, you're just gonna feel 3 taps on your shoulder and nothing.
Last night. I think I've got the alphabet now, and I learned how to spell kobold.
Wow! Excellent. We'll have to go over some of that. That's good to hear. I'm really glad to hear your reading. Friend, we might have to discuss some more things in a bit, all right? I'll come find you in a few minutes if that's okay. I'd like to, honestly, learn a little bit more about your upbringing. Just a bit more. Kobolds are, well, from where I'm from, kobolds are a myth, so they don't really exist. So I am interested to learn. Perhaps we can share information.
I'll be in the library.
Sounds good, friend. And you keep at it, all right? All right. Take care, friend.
Hopefully Nim doesn't go flying away again.
Hopefully not. Goodness, quite a small creature to be flying around like that. Okay. Wait a little longer unless you want to...
Yes,
okay.
be a good idea.
Yeah. So, we're talking... Yes, we're talking...
They play
and
the
they're
iron.
still there.
Iron is not as lethal as thought. They might be allergic. They might have an allergic reaction to it. They are vulnerable to iron. It's not burn, kind of like vampires in Silver. At most it's kind of like a peanut allergy or something, but that might still be, mild irritation to skin or something, but that might still be good. So I would still mix it. Make the poison in mind for that. And I would
Understood.
recommend making it twice as strong as what you would normally make it.
Very well. The information will stay between us, but as I cannot make the potion myself, I will just infer that perhaps we should try to make it doubly strong just to be sure with Tobias.
Yes.
That way yes, that way we, subtly, I can understand.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna find
good talk,
Narta
John.
and give her the information.
Let her know.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Tyrant,
All
make
right.
it?
Oh.
I don't know. Tyrant's usually more about spellcasting and not boating.
You, never mind. I think I see her.
You have that somewhat of a hatred inside of you. Not all Fae is gonna be like nuthead over here.
It's 4 4s 2
Somewhat, yeah, sure, but I also would rather those be all of my feelings and not the ones that I got from somebody else.
Chopping in half.
256.
I mean, true.
My brain like funny computer.
You don't want to get it from other source. You want to have, your reasons behind of you not liking the Fae, which makes sense.
Well, like individual specific, like any other person, Okay, anyway, I think you understand.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, well, I think
22 more
I'm going
people.
to go and get ready on that cake. Whoop.
I'm on it. Hey, Grandpa.
Hi. Did you get my letter?
No, I need to have him try things first.
I did. You want to go talk?
Yes, we should
Turn
talk
into a girl
privately.
again.
It was
Not you two, okay? Not you two. It's bad enough that
Do it
Wayne.
again.
No, I am. God, you and Wayne are so thirsty. God damn.
I'm not thirsty. You just look hot.
That's what I would call thirsty.
Is
God,
there something wrong with the well or the water?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Wayne and him. God, you turned into a woman once, and everyone wants to fuck you. Anyway. So. We might need to go somewhere else, actually.
Okay. You want to go to the top of the bed and breakfast?
Yes, that might be a good place. Hopefully, no one's there this time.
We could always go to the den. If Mr. Pip isn't there, then it should be empty.
Where's the den?
Behind a farm?
I don't think I've...
You never been to the den?
Oh, is it that hole in the ground?
Because our general store expansion
Yeah, the hole.
Okay, that might be actually a very good place.
Enjoy your private talk, you two.
Thank
We
you.
will, thank you.
Oh,
yeah, while we're on the way, I just gotta let you know, as part of a deal I'm making with Oberon, that when I got the memories from Miss Fox on how to be a master tailor, I also kind of got her hatred of the Fae and her tendency towards violence and stuff. I don't like that being part of my brain, and so I'm going to have Mr. Oberon get rid of it.
Where is it going to go? Is it just going to disappear?
I don't know. Honestly, I know how, the eyeball magic stuff works with the shadelings, but I don't know how Oberon's gonna get rid of it, but... He said I need to tell everyone in town why I'm getting rid of it, so I thought I would.
Well, it's good to get rid of it. Speaking as someone that had a hatred of Fae and did unspeakable violence.
Okay, there's a pile of hay at the bottom, so it's pretty cushiony. Don't worry about it. Whee!
Okay.
Yep, this is where I sleep. That's Mr. Pip's shrine to the Amethyst Dragon. And this is our beds. And this is where I've been doing my tailoring. And definitely, whatever you do, don't read this diary here written in Draconic, okay?
I can't even read Draconic, so it's fine.
Definitely don't read it. Wink.
I see. Well,
I'm a pretty sound sleeper, so if someone were to just come in here in the middle of the night and do that, I'm not sure if I would even know they did it.
I see.
That aside, what did you want to talk about?
We might have a serious threat that might be befalling us soon.
Okay. Something that we don't already know about?
Well, I guess that depends. What threats do you know of that's showing up, particularly due to the winds?
Well, to the winds?
See,
I don't know anything about any winds.
when me and Longnose were talking about climbing the tree and the winds were so strong that they were pushing us off and they had a great chill, it gave a lot of concern to Obrion. It's very uncommon for something to take down his guard and make him serious. But
yeah, that's true.
Wouldn't say what it is, so I gambled him. And luckily I won.
Okay.
And he warned us what the winds are going to bring. He specifically told us that it's going to bring dragons. More than one. Many dragons.
Oh! Dragons? Wait. Why is that a bad thing? Because we got... we're gonna have dragons here? I'm gonna have to, we need to get the roast together. We're gonna need a parade. They usually like that a lot. Did you say what kind of dragon it was?
Looks like you have a bunkmate, but...
Oh, what's this this morning?
Good morning.
Silva's been asleep forever.
I mean, I've been sick all this time, right?
Yeah, but you've been, so out of it for a long time.
I know. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Ugh. Let me just...
Sorry, Grandpa.
Sorry,
but how are you?
I'm okay, I guess. I mean, thank you. The first time I felt enough energy to get out of bed.
Well, you should definitely get something to eat then as soon as you can.
I'll head to the inn then. But yeah. I'll see you guys around. Sorry.
Yes.
Take care.
John, you're gonna feel a tap on your shoulder and a whisper that Nerda you will overhear with a natural 20 somehow, goddamn. We need to speak later. And you will recognize it as the voice from the Fae from yesterday.
He's gonna just reach out and try to
It's already gone. They backed up almost the moment they spoke.
God damn it.
Hold on. I'm gonna shoot some spores out and see if it gets disrupted.
What the hell?
Man, there are so many more people down here than I originally thought. What are you doing in my house?
I needed to speak with John. I was just letting him know that. I didn't want to interrupt, which is why I went invisible.
You could have waited until I left.
Yeah,
I have things I need to get done,
right?
So I was being quick. Yes, do not worry. I'm not trying to cause anything with you. I simply wanted to tell him. I apologize for entering your home without...
Okay, that's as long as you understand, normally when it's somebody's house, you usually ask to come in. You don't just come in because you want to, okay? Just in the future. Thank you. Okay, so now I don't believe I have as much privacy as I thought.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, apologies. I know you wanted some secrecy, but apparently invisible people make that hard for me to know.
It happens. Even when we're in a crowd, apparently it's hard to keep from getting interrupted. But from what Obrion said, these are not kind dragons. These are...
No.
They have a great deal of hostility towards the Fae. From what Obrion said, they are like oil and water. Not only are they oil and water as far as getting along, but their magics are completely incompatible.
Did he elaborate on that?
In his normal, riddly way, yes. He more said that the very air floats with Fae magic. And of course, with the dragons moving in, that may not be... It might interrupt things, like how the different seasonal courts control the weather and the seasons here. There might be issues. He didn't give anything specific, but the only thing he gave specifics on is if one of those dragons catch the Fae, or anyone that's friendly to the Fae, they are going to be overly hostile, to say the least.
Okay. Well, I know from the Emerald Dragon that there are dragons that are nice out there, and there are some mean dragons out there. I already had this conversation like yesterday with Jasper, where there is a I forget his name. I think it was he's a new guy. He just showed up, but he's also like half dragon.
Yes,
I forget his name. Oh,
Jasper.
No. Well, Jasper's a kobold, but there was someone else there, and I was talking to him about it. But this guy was like a silver dragon or something like that. Silver, I think. But that's a metallic dragon. And the Emerald Dragon told me that all metallic dragons are evil no matter what. So don't trust them because they'll probably kill you. So, you know, it might be something like that. Maybe Oberon and the Fae only know about, like, evil's dragons, and maybe there are good dragons that aren't like that, but I don't know how it works here because I haven't actually met a dragon from the place we're at right now.
It's possible. It's also possible. We know the Fae. They don't lie, but sometimes they don't. If they don't know, they tell their truth of what they know. So there's possibilities, but that's why I only told Fizwick and you so far. Because I don't want to put the town in a panic. I mean, you know how much of a panic the town was when that one dragon flew over town once. Imagine hearing that there's a whole ton of dragons that are overly hostile to the Fae. Especially since there's some in town that don't like the Fae already.
Yeah. I wonder if Miss Fox knows anything about that, because if there's somebody that is against the Fae, maybe they know more about dragons that are against the Fae?
It's a possibility. He also mentioned that there might be information in the books, the ones about town. One of the volumes, either 2 or 3, he said that apparently this is not the first time the dragons have visited Sundial. And that, you know, it was around the 2nd or 3rd generation, so there might be something in the books too. Which is why, I know you know a bit about dragons, so between that and your knowledge of the books, I figured you would be a good person. Also, you know how important it is not to create a panic in town, so I trust you only telling the necessary people, not people that are going to Also, not the people that are going to use this to weaponize the dragons against the Fae, because we know there's those out there.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. I know that at least the Emerald Dragon is very crafty, and she would look like a human many times so that she could walk into human places and talk to them and have them pretend or just pretend like she was a human so that she can get trade and things done for her lair without them knowing she's a dragon. So if Oberon's worried about that, I don't want to alarm anyone, but it's very, very possible that the dragons are already here and they are our peoples, and we just don't know it.
He did mention that they could show up at any time.
So we can keep an eye out for it. But if you're saying that the dragon magic is different from Fey magic, I don't know if that means the Sundial can also protect us, because I think the Sundial is just for Fey magic, right?
I did not think about that, but I did think about the protections, but I didn't think about the Sundial. Maybe that could be a way of, if they don't have a Sundial, but there's some in town that don't have one yet.
Right. There's many people that don't have sundials that are in the town. But even outside of that, we just gotta look at new people coming in and see how they react to Fae. Because, if they're openly hostile against them, then it might be hard for them to keep a straight face,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That would be true. I doubt many of them would have a poker face as far as hiding their hatred for Fae, given what Oberon said.
And specifically Oberon. I know he likes to make himself well known in town, but obviously there's a long history between him and the Burrow people, and if he's worried about the dragons, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the dragons would recognize him, because he seems to make himself pretty popular.
Well, he also mentioned that opposite. As soon as, well, that might be our other tale, canary in the mine, as it were. If he proves, because he already told me that if the dragons show up, he might take off.
Well, if anything, I'm going to try to stop that from happening. Almost all of my plans up to this point have required me to be on good terms with the Fae and everybody else. And the last thing I want is for the town to be known as a place where the Fae will be kicked out just for being Fae. Right. So I'm going to try to stop that from happening.
Alright, so that's what I would like to...
But I will do my classic Nurta befriends people and try to talk to the dragons if I find them and see what they want and what they like, and then maybe we can be buddies.
That's the other reason. I would like to have this be done diplomatically, if possible. I don't think we would do well with a war with a bunch of dragons, especially since we don't know how many dragons there are.
And as I have said on many occasions, there is a proclivity for certain people in town to draw swords and ask questions later, so I appreciate you taking that into consideration.
Yes, very. Considering how many people jump at the chance to jump into the forest, yes. So.
In that case, then, Fizwick's in on this. Did you plan on telling anybody else?
No, I figured I'd tell you two, and then, as we kind of investigate this, I will be asking Lawrence, but in a more discreet way, without, because I know he doesn't have any love for the Fae, so I don't see him causing problems, but I want to be cautious. I've already told the same thing to Fizwick, but if there's anyone that you trust that you know is not going to create a panic or leak the information out, you can share it. Not like I can really spy on you and tell, but I trust you both. That's why you
No.
both have cool heads and understand the necessary secrets that
The only
need to
other
be.
person I would feel very comfortable telling this with is maybe Sir Erhard. I feel like he is someone that could be confidently secure and having a level head, though his allegiance to his people and the threat of a looming dragon invasion might mean that he would feel obligated to tell them. So maybe we should leave that.
I agree.
That can of worms. Though, in that case, then, Sir Erhard and maybe Sir Red. Sir Red's fought dragons before. He's told me that. Maybe we should talk to him and see if he knows anything about, like, certain defenses or things that maybe you could do against dragons and their magic.
It might be good to ask him discreetly, not tell him about the dragon attacks, but maybe ask him about, discreetly ask him about his fight with dragons.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I've only ever thought about them, like, you know, before I came here, and otherwise, anytime we saw dragons, it was very, you know, they're majestic. They're like, you know how Sir Oberon and Princess Sin are like the royals? It's basically like dragons for kobolds. They're like the royals. But since coming here and seeing some other weird dragony people, I'm beginning to wonder if that's not true everywhere. So I don't know how much my knowledge will actually be helpful, because it might be wrong, but I can try to help the best I can.
I appreciate that.
Also, were you at the council meeting a couple days ago?
Yes, I try to be at the council meetings.
You know about what I said about having information and needing to disseminate it in a discreet way?
Yes.
I'm going to be moving forward with that starting today. I think since the library has been uninhabited and the church isn't used that much, I'm going to talk to Mr. Lawrence and see who actually has control over it. And then I think I'll start renovating it to be my church. Because that's how I'm going to do things. I'm going to basically dress up all of the information that I have gathered and try to present it in a way that is helpful to people, but without breaking the contract I've made. So, if you want to learn more about it, I would highly suggest you stop by when I've got everything ready to go. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Now with that, I think that means I got a couple of things I've got to look into.
Yep.
I'm gonna go see if I can talk to Miss Fox about dragons, because I bet the Burrow knows a thing or two about that. Discreetly, of course.
Of course.
You're good at climbing, right?
I am the best at climbing.
Doubt that.
See? I did okay.
You merely adopted the tunnels. I was raised in them, molded by them. I hadn't seen the outside until I was already an adult, and by then, it meant nothing to me.
Yes, well, I didn't live in the tunnels, I just lived in the shadows.
Oh, okay. Did you, like, bump your eye? Is that what happened?
No. I thought you were around when I revealed that. It's just, I do the same thing that a lot of sailors and pirates do. I wear it for low light visibility. You know, when you have the light eye patch on, Yeah, when you have the eye patch on, it gets more accustomed to being able to see it at night or in the dark.
Oh, because you don't have eyes that are good for caves.
Right. So, by keeping the eyes in dark for a long period, you make it accustomed to be able to see it in the dark very easily. So if I'm in a dark cave with no light, or if I'm in a very moonless night or something like that, I can just flip the eye patch open and I can see much clearer in the night.
That's pretty good. But does that mean if you were at night, does that mean you need to like put a candle up in front of your other eye so that, you know, when it gets bright again, that eye is adjusted to the light?
No. It just works normally. But I also
so it's only for the dark that you have to worry about it?
Yes.
That sounds rough, but, you know, I guess you don't get to have very good vision in the dark, and I don't get to live past 20, so I guess there's some trades-off.
Well, I mean, I used to have... Most elves can see well in the dark, but I'm too old. It doesn't work for me anymore. So this is a trick that I've adopted that a lot of humans have done since... In my old age, it's about on par for a human.
Yes, this is conflicting. Well, if I go to the forest and I find any, I'll let you know.
Good day.
Hi, John. Hi, Nerta.
Hello. Hey, I gotta tell...
Very enjoyable and yummy. You smell big. Smell. If you don't like it, you spit it back out. Go. You.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
have been
would
sick for a while.
very much appreciate them.
Very feverish.
If you need anything, by all means,
I actually felt I needed enough energy
do let
to
me
get
know
up.
if I can repay for them in any way.
It's nice that you're doing better.
Alright, yeah, much. I mean, enough to get up. Yeah, I want to get some.
Oh, darn.
To eat a bit and actually, yeah, hey,
I'll have to see if I can...
Is that a new suit?
Can you cook us
Same
something
suit.
with mushrooms?
Oh, okay.
I'm sure she would appreciate that.
Sure. I can do
Anyway,
that.
yeah, I heard a
still
bit
have some
though.
mushrooms
Some
she
stuff
gave her.
happened. Like some people died.
I can think something up.
Some people got kidnapped. Like not too sure what's going on. Been out for a
There
while.
you
So.
go.
Remember Pip
The
telling you
dried
sometimes
stalks.
stuff happening, but I was so feverish I don't remember.
Thank you very much, Croesus. You are a lifesaver. I think I will probably see if I can nab Sarah and have her look for some
No, I
cocoa.
already had them. They were there.
Yeah.
Well, I wish
Thank you
luck.
again.
Obviously.
Oh, he's in one of those expressions. Getting. Okay, okay, sorry. Sorry. Like, never heard those back where I'm from, so.
excuse me, Lawrence.
Yeah, it would sound like, you know, somebody stole your feet like fairies and you have to get them back. Things a fairy do, right?
I was just curious.
You have my attention.
How much do you know about the past history of the town with previous generations?
No, you would prefer having your feet under the table.
Depends on which volumes you're going by.
They're still around, they're still trying to get eyes.
I was just curious, because in the old town we had a couple of flybys by these big dragons, but we haven't seen them here. I was just curious if there were any past mentions of any dragons visiting Sundial previously. Maybe it's some sort of pattern.
Not
I
until
know what
I've been
happened to
here
the
we had
melon.
any
Oh, yeah?
flyover
Who told
dragons.
you?
No.
Ask her.
Do you know if there's
Until recently, of course.
do you know if
Apparently,
there's
they're
any
sentient now.
history in the previous books about
And they're
in the previous? Do you happen to know if there's anything in the previous books or previous generations?
apparently the watermelon is sentient, and or they
I'm
are.
afraid I'm not familiar with what our
And
current library has in stock
I'm
anymore.
going to
But
cut it up, and I'm going to eat it.
Well, I was just curious because it's
there was
Cutting up.
we haven't seen any, so I didn't know if it was a old town thing or if it's something that we
I
might see
am gonna
around
cut
here
it up
eventually.
and eat it.
Figured it's good to know these things up front before they show up, not be caught off guard.
I will put that on your tombstone. I will put that on your tombstone. Death by watermelon.
suppose we'll deal with it when it happens. I think if a fully adult dragon appeared, I think we have a large enough force that we could fight it off at least. We might have casualties, but
Well, it may not be necessarily hostile, but if it is, I do agree with you.
of course.
Well, thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. I appreciate it.
If I find anything in my notes about it, I'll take a look over it.
Of course.
For my own money. I like doing things.
Croesus,
It goes to the family.
what do you know
Ah,
of the
John, how
history
can
of
I
this
help you?
town? Specifically of previous generations.
What's I earn is for me.
Bits and pieces. Some more secret than others.
Something that I'm curious about, because we had a couple of dragons that flew over the old town, but we haven't seen any
Yes, I remember.
fly over. I was just wondering, because I was curious if we were going to see a problem of them showing up at some point. Maybe they would
If you
eventually find us.
remember, back when the small dragons were about and were a nuisance, we eventually talked it out with the dragon mother, so to speak, for them. I remember, as it was said, that she said she came in from the outside, as it were, at the time.
I see.
Expanding territory and such. So, that was the old location. We are not stuck here in the valley, so to say, if you go into the forest. So it stands to reason, if we're not in the same place, we do not know if the dragons are next to us or not.
I see.
If they are, they might expand into our territory eventually as well, yes. It is possible.
Has there been any history of dragons causing problems for the town and even in previous generations?
Those incidents aside, that was more of a stray dragon here and there. If you mean something more organized, like the corruption and such, I think there was some dragon imagery on some of the pillars in the old town. I can't be sure though.
I see.
Oh, I will say there was the entire thing. No, actually, I do remember something else. Do you remember Arco? Haven't seen her for a while. She's probably out in the woods somewhere.
Yes.
Outsiders, really.
Excellent. The dagger she had with the weird half-dragon thing spirit inside. It seemed to hate the Fae and was alright with the town. And it seemed to be a very old grudge driving it.
See.
It works, they have guns and bullets. You want a gun?
No.
So yes, there is some history there, and with the imagery, I would assume they played some role in a very early iteration, I think.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, of course.
I appreciate you. What do I owe you for the information?
That makes sense.
No, nothing. If it was to cost anything, I would have told you so.
I appreciate
So
that.
I would recommend, if you are worried about something, maybe best to hit the library and see if you can find a book on the different colors of dragons and their traits.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Yes,
Sorry, my world
I will
doesn't
be
have anything
doing
like that.
some research, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Or don't.
Good. Have a good day.
You too.
Yo, you have the new stuff.
Oh yes, our expansion.
I've never been through here, actually. Oh, no, I have.
It's just the upstairs to the tavern.
John.
Yes.
John.
No, I'm not turning into a woman again for you, okay?
Not this time, maybe. Anyways, I found I found a book on water. Remember the watermelon? You don't remember the watermelon, right?
No, I don't. What about the watermelon?
The one I was here this entire time for.
I mean, I don't go to the farm that often, so.
It's not at the farm, or I would have known. No, it's a sentient watermelon now. And so I'm going to go into the Fae Forest to try and find it.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
No. Not going to help me?
Yeah, I will help you. As silly as this sounds.
Well, this might not happen anytime soon. Until I find it, then I'll tell you.
All right, well, come find me. I will help you.
Good. We need more people, though. Michael will help me.
Because I'm pretty sure that if you're thinking of a sentient watermelon, it's probably because you ate some mushrooms in the forest. That's...
I didn't eat no mushrooms as much.
As much.
Oh yeah, cute people work at the library now.
Who? Okay. Mama. I'm already in the... Hi. I guess you work in the library now.
I mean, I kind of just sat back here and people started treating me like I did work here, so...
Congrats, you got the job.
I've been in here now. I guess so. I mean, people tell me that I should work here, so...
Well, I mean, do you happen to... since you just started today, I don't expect you to know it on your first day. Do you know where the volumes are for the town books, the ones on the history of Sundial?
History of Sundial. Let me just see.
Trying to find said melon.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly... I think right here. I remember looking through this in the first day that I was here, and there was a book on Sundial, right? And it's a history of Sundial.
Volume 1. Okay. I'm gonna put that back. I'm just gonna take Volume 2 and Volume 3. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Of course.
Oh, hello again.
Hello. Is there anything I can help you with?
Actually, yes. Question for you. Do you have any broken, ruined books at all? Like just yeah, out of sorts, in disrepair.
Let's see. Looks like there's a book that the binding is falling off a little bit, but I think that's about all I could find for ruined books. I haven't at least looked for any totally trashed books. I could ruin this book if you want.
So, I'll try and explain. The reason I'm asking is I'm trying to find something sturdy that I can cut into malleable shapes of sorts. I'm trying to build a wall around a batter so that it stays in a shape. And I'm thinking maybe a book cover, a hard book cover, or just some sort of book cover might be good enough. If I cut it into strips.
For a cake?
Cake batter. Yes.
I mean, the main thing that I could think about is that if you're using a book, it does have, I don't know, some sort of cardboard, hardboard material, which the batter might soak into. It might be good to look at like pieces of metal. You might be able to find some pieces of metal at the forge. Hello.
True. Metal might work better.
Or you could go to the kitchen, and there might be bowls or pans of some sort in the kitchen.
Okay. I'll check there. Thank you for the advice.
Hey, before you go, what's
Yes.
the special phrase you gotta say before you tell a Fae your name?
Oh. I've never really
somebody
told
said,
anybody my full name since I've been here.
Well, no, I mean,
Well, somewhat.
It's something like, hey, you can refer to me as or whatever.
I suppose that works, yeah. Sounds about right.
If you don't know, I'm not gonna bother you. Don't worry about it. I tell you, when I find out, I'll tell you about it.
That sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a perfect plan. Again,
are you going back to the kitchen there? Or are you going over there?
Actually, going over there to see. Okay.
You wouldn't happen to have any spare paper around I could use to make some decorations with, would you?
I just got a whole shitload of paper for decorations.
Yes, I gave it to him.
In fact, what I was coming back for was, don't go anywhere yet. You'll see I have 2 rolls of string in my hand.
Oh,
now you
found
said
some.
there was no payment. Now I don't need both of these, and I bartered them off of the Fox Lady, and I want to sort of donate this black string to the library, and thanks for the paper.
Oh, I guess we could use this for bookbinding of some sort. That would be very, very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, whatever needs to be done. Now, question for you, Mr. Skeleton Man, if your hands can relax there,
yes?
okay. What's the special phrase you gotta say to a Fae when you want to tell him your name?
Oh, excuse me, I'm going crazy for a moment. Let me see if I remember it. It's, you may call me, and then your word of choosing.
Honestly, I don't think that's it.
Or you may refer to me as. That also works.
Yeah, see, John probably has more knowledge about this than I do, yes.
You may refer to me as Ted.
Ted? It's very, very nice to meet you.
Oh, this lady here, they're mostly trustworthy. They've saved
I don't know that.
my bones once or twice. Of course, you have to make that decision for yourself.
Exactly.
I understand. They understand. Don't worry about it. I'm sure she understands, right?
Yes. Also, I don't have to say that you may refer to me, but my name is Ivy. It is very nice to meet you, Tad.
That's a very lovely name.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Hello.
All right, now, I don't mean to cut and run, but I gotta get this over to the things so we can do the stuff with the things.
Absolutely. So. Do the job that you have to do.
The
Indeed.
secret thing.
Thank you. Yes.
The
Don't
thing.
tell Jasper. I mean, what? Oh no.
What?
Hi.
Don't tell me what.
Huh?
Oh, hi.
I'm not sure. Hello,
Hello.
Iona. Just in time.
Anyway, I talked to that guy in the market. He said that I should talk with you because Jojo is looking for cocoa beans, and the cocoa beans are in the forest.
Cocoa for
Is there a
Jojo,
GM available?
Have you tried the kitchen?
No.
Yeah, what's up?
There's a bunch of food there. They might have some.
John is doing research on the using the Sundial books.
Sorry.
Where is the kitchen?
You're doing what, sorry?
The bakery.
John is doing research about the dragons using the books in the library for the Sundial books. I didn't know if there should be a role or just general information that he's getting from these books about the dragons.
If you end up going to the forest, grab me.
Dragons are friends thing shit.
That's alright, that's fine. So give me 5 seconds.
No worries.
Okay, so I'm sorry. You were reading books about dragons?
Specifically, John is looking through volumes 2 and 3 to try to find out information about these dragons. And also, based on what he learned from Grecius, also looking into the dagger because of the dragon spirit and it also seeming to be tied to the same dragons.
Right. So, through volume 2, as you're taking deeper dives, as you just picked 2 before 3, you realize it talks about more of the second cycle itself and what Sundial was like during the second cycle, and you seem to realize that, or maybe you've heard before, and you're just seeing more in-depth information about it. Sundial has been through cycles, a specific year, you can't put dates on how long each cycle is, but it's numerous years. The second cycle talks about the kingdoms of mankind, or humans, or whatever non-Fae groupings there was. And you don't see any recollections of dragons, you don't see the word dragon mentioned as you're sifting through the pages, but you just see knowledge of kingdoms. In the third volume, you learn about the third cycle, where the dragons came in. You learn that dragons were brought in.
What am I seeing in front of me?
Don't know how.
He has books in front of him.
And they bonded very quickly with the town.
I need to talk about something. Just find me when you're done.
The ruins of kingdoms of the citizens of Sundial. Large cities brought to dust from who knows what. And almost as if they took pity on humans, on the citizens of Sundial. The mages. They saw the adaptability, the cunning, and the survivability. and the potential for magic in them, as dragons are powerful creatures, the book says. And they allied themselves with the citizens of Sundial. Then you skim the pages a bit further, it's a lot of fluff information. Further down the line, you start finding out about how the citizens and dragons would go to wars, to battles with the Fae. This cycle is one of confrontation, ill energy, ill magics. Not evil sometimes, not righteous sometimes. And you gleam and realize that at the end of the third volume, the cycle again came to an end. The kingdoms, the towns, eventually crumble away, and the humans die. But the dragons live. Dragons live a long time, and they don't forget. And the dragons left. For what reason, who knows? It's not stated, as this book would have been written by a human, a citizen. But the important information is that the dragons most likely will not forget their hatred of the Fae and how, in centuries past, they treated the citizens of Sundial. And that's what you can glean for now.
Understood. Thank you. All right. So where's the dead? He said he needed.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't like beans at all. So
made invisible.
Oh, we should probably ask
It's
Jojo
gone.
what they look
Take a
like.
sniff.
Or
You can't
actually,
sniff. Well, they should know it's gone
do you
now.
guys know what cocoa beans look like?
I've heard of them. I don't really know what they look like, though. I'm not really a chef.
Well, it depends. A cocoa bean comes in two forms. The original form from a tree looks like this gooey, sloppy mess, but regular cocoa beans, they just look like beans.
By the way, have you seen Other John?
No.
Smaller.
And by the way, why didn't you tell me I was fucking not muted, you idiot?
Why don't we go ask Jojo?
I didn't know. Sorry.
What they look like, so we can kind of get a better picture of what we're looking for.
It's a good idea.
Do you know where we can find cocoa beans?
Hello.
I mean, I could hear you anyway.
In our old town, we were in a more tropical climate, so sometimes they would grow on some of the trees in the forest.
So you know what they look like then?
I just told you what they look like.
Well, yeah, but
small.
You weren't sure yourself.
No, I thought you were talking about regular beans.
Brown. Oh, okay.
So when you get them off trees, they're like this slimy goop. You gotta, clean up. I don't know how to make. I don't know how to turn them into the goop from regular to regular beans, but I don't think we're gonna find goopy cocoa beans around here.
As they grow in a more tropical environment, unfortunately, the movement of the town has taken us from our tropical paradise to a more temperate forest.
Well,
So
supposedly
even
they're in
the
the
Fey
forest as
they will
well,
grow?
so
You might find a spot of summer in the forest, or you might get some cocoa beans.
Are there any cocoa beans in the forest? You've been there a few times.
Not
I
that
guess
I've
we
seen.
should bet on that.
But I wasn't
Yeah, the spice
exactly
said
looking,
that
so...
they were probably in the forest.
So I can explain something. Maybe you haven't all heard this yet, but the forest does change. If you don't know that.
Oh yeah,
So-
right. That sometimes you can find one thing, and the other day they might not be there anymore. Something like that, correct?
Yes. So sometimes the seasonal effects of a certain season will be in one section of the forest, while right next to it is a different one. Generally speaking, at our previous town, we lived in a summer forest, but then one day everything turned autumnal. But there was still small patches of summer around. I think right now we're in something more of a autumnal forest, but it's a bit more twisted in a way.
Peculiar.
Yes. I will say I don't believe I've seen any summer pockets, but I have seen a few winter.
I don't think it's going to do us any good.
No. But perhaps if you find a more summery spot, you could find cocoa beans.
No offense, Jess, but I don't feel like risking my life in the forest.
Well, we might as well
I
try.
I think we should be safe if we're in a group.
Well, John keeps telling me if I go in the forest, I'm going to die.
Without
I
the
forget that
proper
guy's name. He said I
protection
should go with George, and you want to come along, I think.
I'm a defender,
and then there's
so I should be helping.
There's the vampire girl at the library as well.
There's these fey creatures out there. They're sprites. They're cotton, puffy. They float around and ding. Sometimes they have seeds and such caught in their wool. Perhaps if you find one, you might find beans. They drift around and carry seeds. You might find something in them.
Okay.
Thank you. That's extremely helpful. Well, now we just need to go to the forest and find some sprites.
Lawrence, did you bring a friend with you?
Sprites.
No.
Hey, Faye person.
I've never seen them in my life.
Patch.
How have I seen him before and you haven't? I thought you knew everything.
I don't know everything. I've never claimed
I
to
do
know
want
anything.
to go to Jojo just in case.
You said that you needed to speak to
double
me.
check and make sure what they look like.
Yeah, let's go somewhere quiet.
If she knows.
Of course.
But yes, they're about this big, cottony.
Really quiet.
Shape on there.
Let's go to the mausoleum over there.
Call it their chest. A small leaf on their head. Yeah, sometimes they can.
So what are you reading, Big John?
Just the history of the town. Nothing major.
The seeds of a larger tree.
Did you find any way to get out of here?
That's one of the things I was looking at. I don't know if you know much about the history, but basically the town has cycles, generations, as you could say. There'll be one generation, and then they tend to either disappear or get wiped out, or they wipe themselves out, or any number of different things. Yes.
Before I step in here, it's not some magical thing that's going to turn me into a newt, is it?
No.
Looks awfully regal in here.
Just kidding, it turns you into a femme girl. No, I'm kidding. So,
I got enough problems on my plate.
Yeah, I know. So, what did you need to talk to me about?
You can sit if you want.
All right.
What's the fucking cord? Get off my leg. What's the deal with the Fae in this town?
What do you mean?
I go around. I got some of them trying to eat my fucking face. And then I go into the library, and there's this super friendly one that's trying to help me out.
The Fae are just like people. Some of them are assholes, and some of them are decent people. Do you not have people in your world that are where one person will stab you in the back literally with a knife, and others that will literally give you the clothes off their back?
Yeah, we call them Jersicans.
It's the same thing here. They are just, they are just people, basically.
Then why don't they act like people?
There are very strange people, but there are very kind ones. There are ones that are very nice. There's actually a couple that, but there are quite a few, like the shadow foxes, that are quite frankly cringe, as they would say.
Yeah, I've heard that word a few times. So if there's such a problem, why don't they get rid of them?
The protections in town prevent any long term. And quite frankly, they're annoying little shits, but they haven't harmed anyone, so...
You say that, and yet they still keep trying to steal my eyeballs.
Well, they can't actually steal your eyeballs. You have to give them consent for them to actually take it. That's how this town works.
And then I hear they're sitting around, tricking people.
I wish we could do something about the problematic ones that cause problems. I have no problems with the good ones. I just wish that we could do something about the bad ones, but again, they are just being annoying little shits. Can't really kill someone for that. They might bug you and, threaten to take your eyeballs, but, they're not actually going to do it. They can't even do it even if they wanted to. The protections prevent them from harming anyone.
Yeah, but the moment you leave the town, suddenly your eyeball fucking disappears.
They haven't been successful about taking anyone's eyes while in the forest. They've threatened to, but they haven't. And that's kind of the key thing. Unless they actually act on something and cause a problem, then... I mean, there's tons of people that threaten to, rob a king or cause a problem, but then unless he actually does it, it doesn't actually, he's not going to actually go to jail for just thinking about robbing a king.
You say that, but, where I come from, if you threaten the king, they'll absolutely throw your ass in jail.
Well, threatening is a different matter. I'm talking about robbing. Like, if he's like, oh, I'm going to rob the king, then yeah, sure, they're not going to do that. But if you are like, oh, I'm going to kill the king, yeah, he might be in a little bit of trouble. That's treasonous talk.
They don't have to die. But why don't they just ship them out? Keep them out.
No one's willing to really do anything unless they cause a major problem. them being annoying little shits is not enough for anyone to take action to try to kick these people out.
Okay.
Although I would like to see at least, there's a annoying like Oberon, but there's annoying like the Shadow Foxes that I would like to see kicked out of the town. And we even had, you were asleep for it, but we had a very passionate speech about what we should do with the Shadow Foxes and others like them that cause problems. And that was the consistency during the board meeting. Maybe when there's another board meeting, you can bring it up again, and maybe you can try your merchant tactics to get people to change their minds on it.
Let me just ask you one question.
Yes.
Did I make the attempt?
Did you make the attempt?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm a little confused. What attempt?
To talk to you.
Well, yeah.
That's all I need to hear. Sorry to bother you.
That was a weird way to end it.
Any other information you might have on them that could help me out?
Well, first of all, dragon is a very wide term used for specific beings. We have true dragons, which you have some intelligence generally, and are normally characterized by.
Eva, why didn't you tell me I was in the public Discord? And
Because I wasn't in the public Discord.
oh shit.
I was off in the GM thing.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were pointing at your ears for.
And also, it's okay, it happens. Someone will yell at
Now
you
everybody
and
hates
you
me.
turn. They don't hate you. Anyone that. He who has cast the first rock on the person that was not muted, was he himself not muted at some point?
Before you log off, remind me after session to tell you how I was told.
Hmm?
They really need to plant this stairs here. This is a pain in the ass.
Hi. Yeah, it is a little
We're
bit
heading
of
to
a
the
pain in the ass.
forest.
Ah, I see.
You can join us if you like.
No, I'm not feeling well, so you all have fun.
Still not really in the mood to die.
Generally a good take.
To go to my place to
Oh
pick up my
no,
coat and I'll
I'm
come
going
back.
to deliver something to Nurta. She holds up a tray and it's got 2 bread pizzas on it that are covered with mushrooms.
All right, I'll make it quick.
Delicious. Personally, I'm not
very
big,
fun
I'd have a few less mushrooms, but we're talking nectar here, so that's probably not enough to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Climbing onto
Yeah, exactly. I hope it's enough. Like, these are the last of the mushrooms, so.
Hey, if it ain't enough, she got plenty more.
You want to try it?
I did bake them at least beforehand.
Try climb.
Before I
climb
put them
up.
on the pizza, but
Yeah,
I don't know if that'll.
here.
I'm not really
Yeah,
cooked
yeah.
with mushrooms all that well, but I think I remember from reading some of the
should
books in
be
the
a-
library that was kind of
If
one
you
way to
are
go about them.
interested, there is a seat that you can sit on my shit.
Don't let me hold you up. Get over there before I get told.
You need to aim here.
You know, I feel bad. I want to go help him, but I also don't want to die. Yet.
Well, I mean, you can go to stick with the group. You know, as long as you're not alone, you're not going to die. You let the ones that fight, and you stand back and you run when there's danger, and you'll be fine.
Hmm. What's in the forest that everybody's running off?
Supplies, minerals, food. Basically, most of the things that we need to keep the town running.
Wares is what you're saying.
Yes. Also the hot spring. I mean, you can go into the forest and go to the hot spring, and it's safe there.
Hmm. The pink hair lady, she said she's a defender.
Hmm. Yes, he often helps with defending the town.
Let me investigate this.
Again, as long as you stick with the group, you're safe.